Hi, can you imagine as a child and your reaction to when you're not getting what you want? I I can picture my parents wanting to stop me from having the fit, and then even now you see kids and they're lying on the ground, they're kicking, they're screaming. It's dramatic what their little reaction, their tantrum. What I am discovering lately is emotions and how important it is to actually let it out. So, what these children are doing is actually smart because they will be pulling a tantrum and being so upset. And then 15 minutes later, they're not crying anymore and they're having a great time because they were able to let go of this emotion. And so that's something that we don't even consider when we're watching the whole scene. um, so one thing to consider is that they're letting it out, and I believe my interesting point of view is that when we're a child and we're having a tantrum and our parents have a reaction to us having this tantrum or being upset and so much anger and carrying on, their reaction is actually teaching us how to suppress our emotions. So we learn that we're not supposed to react in front of other people, and we learn it at a very young age. So not that that was wrong, because they learned from their parents and so on and so on. But what we learn is how to suppress our emotions. So now as adults, now we need to learn how to bring the emotions up and allow it to go. And some of it can be very challenging. Now, what got me going this week, and allow me to read, it's part of Lisa Brown's book, and the book is called Navigating Dimensions. And I highly recommend reading this book. All of her stuff is filled with light codes and just simply amazing. Anyway, she goes on in this one part. She says, the human sees anger as a fault or a bad thing, while to the soul, this is just an old suppressed energy that is just in need of being transcended within. The lower dimensional unconscious human will work to suppress the anger, while the middle realm human will work to purge, release, transform. The evolved middle realm being will just bring it up and let it go. And the higher realm version has no anger at all. Now, I found that incredible. So basically, as an adult, an unconscious one, we suppress our anger. So now, because some of us are evolved and we're getting into this ascension, we are more aware of the fact that the emotion is just energy. So we are actually doing what we can to bring the energy up and allow it to go. So we're in that middle realm human part of purge, release, and transform. My goal is to be like in the evolved middle realm, or the higher realm version. Now, the evolved middle realm being will just bring it up and let it go. So I find that easy when you're in the quantum field. Now, with every video I've done, it's like when you breathe and you're breathing deeply, you are raising your consciousness, you're raising your frequency, your vibration to go to the quantum field. And when you're in the quantum field, that's when you're aware of the emotion and the fact that it's energy, and you can just let it go. It's that simple. Now, the higher realm version has no anger at all. Well, that's when you can raise your vibration to a certain point, and you don't feel the energy of it. You don't have any emotions, because emotions, it's just an energy. So that would be our goal, to actually get to the point where, it's like all the anger from our past is coming up. So one thing I've said before is that, like, when I get angry at someone, what happens is, sometimes it's a really stupid thing. Pay attention and be aware of what you're getting angry at. And when you do have that emotion, you're experiencing the emotion. What wouldn't happen is that you wouldn't experience the emotion if it wasn't already in you. So somewhere along the line, as a child, I would have suppressed the emotion of anger. So now, periodically, little things will make me angry, or I shouldn't say it like that, because it doesn't make you angry. You allow it to you to experience it, because you're in charge of your emotions. You're in charge of your reaction. So when you react like this with anger, that's when you go within, because you have that anger emotion in you. It's not that person right in front of you that just created you to be angry. That person, your teacher, has brought that emotion up so that you can be aware of it and you can release it. So it's all pretty cool, and it gets pretty deep too. Now, one of the things in the past I learned about is Emotion Code. That's a book, Emotion Code, by Dr. Bradley Nelson. Now, he discovered in his practice, he is a chiropractor, and what he discovered in his practice was that some people had, and I might not say this right, degenerative back, like discs in their back issues, but some of them didn't have any pain. And so he went on to investigate how one person has it and has so much pain they can hardly walk, and they've had back surgeries, and yet this other person who has the same diagnosis doesn't have any pain whatsoever. So he went on to find out that emotions play a part in what they're experiencing. So that was a really interesting read. So again, that's called the Emotion Code, and he's got lots of information online, and it was really interesting. So he figured out a way on how people can release the emotions, and it's through muscle testing. You muscle test your body. You ask your body if it's willing to release the energy, and if you're if your body's willing to, then you can just simply release it. And it's a pretty easy process. He does, I believe, on his website, he has the information, the form in which you can go through and you can ask your body which of the emotions that you could get rid of. So it is work, but it's worth it. And you need to learn how to muscle test. So the muscle test would be, your fingers together and all that. There's lots of videos on there about that. Another great way of releasing emotions, I think, is emotional freedom technique, EFT for short. It's just tapping. So you're tapping on pressure points. I've done some videos in the past about it, but it's like eyebrow and side of eye. It's just tapping, and you're talking while you're tapping, and you're basically talking while you're tapping, and you're getting the energy out. Now, a short little story, and without going into the story about it, I was having a tough time with an estate I was dealing with, and it was getting very stressful. What was going on in me, like, I was building up all this stress, so I decided to do EFT on it. So I did tapping, I talked it out and talked it out. I cried like you would not believe, cried and cried and cried. Got all of these issues out, and the very next day my lawyer called and it settled. it was done just like that. And what a relief to have that done. To this day, I don't believe that it would be completed, like it wouldn't have settled with all that stress in my body. So you can change things in your life by doing this tapping for yourself and for the people around you. You're just tapping to release the stress from your body to get it out. Now, with tapping, lots of videos on YouTube about that too. It's a fun process. There's like a ton of them, and highly recommend trying that on a few different things in your life, because you can even do it for some fun stuff. Like I've done it with, you know, you can kind of bend over and touch your toes and see how far you can go. And you can't go very far. Some people can do it, but you can't go very far. So you do a round of tapping, and then you do it again, and then all of a sudden you can do it. So it's pretty amazing. It does help with a lot of things. And so, yeah, you can have a lot of fun with EFT as well as releasing the stress. Now, what I'd like to do, like I said earlier when I read that quote, is I would like to be in that middle realm, like that being where we can just bring up the emotion and let it go. So you're aware of it and you let it go. And in order to do that, we need to actually be in that energy. We have to carry that energy, vibration, frequency, all of that has to be outside of us, and we're actually wearing it and then not allowing it to go. So it's something that we need to be actually aware of constantly, especially with all this 3D, sometimes I like to call it crap, going on around us. It is all drama. It's someone else's drama. It's got nothing to do with you. So that's the hardest part, keeping our vibration high when you got all this stuff going on around you. But remember, every person in your life, although they're in your life, in your journey, they have their own journey. They have their own lessons, and it actually doesn't have anything to do with you. What's the favorite thing people say? It's none of your business, right? It is really not your business. Your vibration is your business. That's it. So that's the fun part. Lecture's over. Okay, so let's take a few deep breaths. We're going to bring in the light, and we've done this. I feel like I've done this a million times. But we're going to bring in the light and ask the beings of light to increase our frequency and to help us to stay there. And then I'm going to do some light language too. So take a few deep breaths. And as you're inhaling, visualize white light, and it's pouring down into your crown. You're going to fill up your entire body. And you bring it all the way down to your toes. Just keep bringing the white light in. And when you exhale, exhale that white light. So you're bringing it into your body and you're exhaling all the white light. So your entire space, you could fill up this entire room that you're in with white light. It's actually a good idea to do that. And you can fill up your whole house. That actually cleanses your house. So bring in white light, exhale white light, and just keep focusing on that. Put both hands on your heart. Now, putting both hands on your heart, it activates your heart already, just putting your hands there. So when something's going on in your day, just slip away, go into the bathroom or the closet and put your hands on your heart and breathe. And that opens your heart. And opening your heart is like opening a door, and your light, your soul will shine. And that will raise your vibration instantly. So keep breathing. Now listen with your heart. Akini likishina na kolola kosana na ko ayana kasha nana kasota kolora nana. Ayana kishidiri kile shanana kolarana kashanana kolara sananaka. Now we're going to ask them, the beings of light, to come in and help us to raise our vibration. They are bringing in crystal energy and crystal light. Edikishanana koshana makatekile shanana kala ayana koshanana kala shanana. They're reminding me to remind you and myself to ground every day. So every day we're to bring in the white light to increase our frequency, but we're also supposed to ground. Oyamanaki aina koshana kola ayana kosono kosanini kila shanana ko oyana kalana ayana koshano. There's a total grid underneath our feet. And if our feet are magnets, we can attach to that grid, attaching to the earth, and be connected to Mother Earth. And that in itself will increase our vibration as well. We can also call upon them anytime we need them, just by breathing and raising our vibration. Once we raise our vibration, we are in the quantum field where all exists. So take a deep breath. Another thing that the beings of light told me ages ago is that when we put our hands here, like sometimes we put our hands here and we're like namaste, but keep in mind that you're putting it in like prayer position, but your hands have energy and you're bringing them together and you're at your heart. So heart is big right now. A lot of people are channeling heart information and the importance of opening our heart. But this is a big thank you for your heart and to open the doors. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this. Do research emotion code and EFT for releasing any emotions that you're aware of. But bringing this much light and asking for the beings of light to come in and help you to raise your vibration. When you are vibrating at that frequency, you will not need to do any of the other stuff. The other stuff is basically to help your 3D body. So if you think your 3D body needs help, by all means. I still do it, EFT, love it. However, when you can raise your vibration to this level, you can feel it in your body. You don't need anything else. You just need this frequency and to stay here. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. Leave me a comment. How do you feel? Let me know in the days to come if anything's happening, you know, opening things up for you. Many blessings. Thank you very much, and namaste.